Stay tuned to a prophecy update by the Tribulation Institute. Just yesterday, Jeff Forrester at the Tribulation Institute was talking about the upcoming sixth seal of the Book of Revelation, where a great earthquake is mentioned, and there was a 7.6 magnitude earthquake today.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Tribulation Institute. You know, I don't believe in coincidences, and I haven't for decades. I was just talking yesterday on the video that I released about the upcoming sixth seal this coming April, as opposed to what I had been teaching for years, that each seal was 6 months, and I had said last April in 2025, that the fifth seal had started, but I had been saying that each seal was 6 months. However, I'm still sticking to that last April was the sixth seal, but the difference being is that this past 7th day of October, 3 days ago, was the beginning on God's calendar, this set in the stars, the sun and the moon, was the beginning of the Feast of Trumpets. And so, does that mean that the sixth seal has started now? Well, according to that, it has, but in the video that you're going to see after this one, I explain that I've changed my mind. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on both counts. I changed my mind, and I believe that each one of the seals are a year. It's just that the starting date was not based on 6 months, but a year, going back to 2001, when basically that was introduced into the masses. And so that means that this April would be the opening of the sixth seal. And we all know, or those of us that study the book of Revelation, Bible prophecy, know that in the sixth seal there's a great earthquake. And lo and behold, there was an earthquake last night in the Philippines, 7.6 or 7.4, depending on who you listen to. Haven't heard much about it, just from one person so far. And I did a little research on Google, and yes, it did in fact happen. Does that mean that we're in the sixth seal? Or is God, which I believe, is pulling out the stops on trying to wake his people up into the urgency of the hour, meaning the sixth seal is upon us, whether it was just opened the 7th of October, or whether it will be in April. I still think it's in April, because there's a lot of things that I'll get into in that next video that I believe have to happen before the great earthquake, which I believe sets them all off, which was not the one last night in the Philippines. Setting them all off, which would be the great earthquake, and things have to happen, at least I believe, according to my understanding and interpretation of biblical prophecy. A lot has to happen, and part of that earthquake is judgment on America for its treating and persecution of the saints, which is what I said has to start happening before the earthquakes come. I've been saying that for months. People have been saying, oh, we're further along in Bible prophecy than what I even say. I believe they're wrong. But I said, no, persecution has to start in a larger scale than it has been. And it has, in fact, in the last several months, been paying attention in Nigeria and other places, Syria, that it is going on. And so we need to wake up. Anyway, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, do your research, be vigilant. Don't take my word for anything. Right? And be sure and pray that you be accounted worthy to escape these things coming upon the earth. We'll see you next time.